In the event of a water damage emergency, call PuroClean of Cenla.
I know the weather's getting pretty bumpy when I wake up in the middle of the night to check it. And I did that last night, and I didn't see much change. It looks like we have that threat for severe weather sticking around for Friday. I'll take you through all that. Sorry about that in just a second. And if my buddy Chris Smith is watching, yeah, I'm leaving these up for like another day or two. Oh, I will, yeah, I think so. When I start the audio on that song, it's not just a fixed thing, so I just kind of adjust it. I'll make sure to try to remember to keep that a little bit lower. And I saw, Miss Linda, I saw that you said you didn't get a notification on that shorter video I did yesterday, which that was kind of fun. I like that. Those are just posts, so that's not going to be a live thing where the notification comes up. But hey, it looks a little bumpy out on Toledo Bend this morning. It's we had a few white caps out there, got some clouds, got the moisture rolling on in. And I actually bumped rain chances up for today. I don't think it's going to be heavy, but I think we're going to see a pretty decent coverage throughout the afternoon. And actually, I think this only goes back an hour, so we're not going to see it, but yeah, we will. Okay, so nothing going on here, but tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings up in Oklahoma. We had a couple of confirmed tornadoes there just on the east side of Oklahoma City. So start to this severe event. This is that first lead wave that's going to come out, and it's going to bring us some rainfall today, but I don't think we get the severe stuff. 69 degrees at 9:09 a.m. on January 8th. It happens. 72 in Lafayette, 62 or 68 Monroe, wishful thinking on 62, but it is going to be a very warm, humid day. We're going to see some rain off and on. It's going to be fast-moving, lighter showers, maybe some moderate showers out there, but nothing severe for today. So wind gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour. It is going to be a very breezy day ahead of this, and you can kind of see the little bumps in that. That's the rain showers developing. Maybe a wind gust up to 40 in one of the more robust showers. And if you end up with, I'm not even saying do this today, but if you end up with storm damage, if you're sitting there freaking out, just come back to this. Remember this, take a screenshot of this. If you have a tree on your house, these people are there before I am after a storm. I mean, Cole will be out there with the crew with Mountain Man. So 318-277-7830. You'll be surprised. Someone's going to need it in a pinch, and you want to have that. So if you do see that emergency issue, they can be there very quickly. 71 degrees at 10 a.m., cloudy, breezy, upper 70s for highs for today, and maybe if we get a little sun, somebody sees 80, it's going to be warm. So marginal risk for severe weather, that is mainly going to be across the Delta region, and that's going to mainly be for tonight. That's not for the stuff today. Slight risk up there in Oklahoma where they do have confirmed tornadoes, so again, a slight risk. It doesn't mean there's no risk. It means you could see something, and we actually do have a slight risk in the area for tomorrow. Covers the entire state, not the entire state, our entire area, and most of the state. Down toward the I-10 corridor, it's always going to be a little tougher this time of year to get the severe weather because those shelf waters are very cold. So when that happens, it's tough to get that instability up and rolling. The tornado threat, 5% within 25 miles of a point, 2% surrounding that. So we saw this several weeks ago in our last severe event and got 0 tornadoes. So does this mean you're going to see one? Absolutely not. Doesn't even mean we're going to see one here in the state, but it is the risk that we're going with for this for right now. 15% risk on the severe winds, and this is a fairly typical setup down here. We have a 5 on this, we have a 15 or 5 on the tornadoes, 15 on the wind, and a 5 on the hail because it looks like the hail threat's going to be pretty low. So I don't think you're going to need a new igloo roof if this comes to pass the way it's looking, because I think any hail threat would be low. It's going to be an isolated tornado. It's going to be damaging wind potential. That's going to be the main issue with this. Now, let me take you through the HRRR. This is the latest hot off the press run, and it's been pretty consistent. So I like this as a representation of what will happen. Scattered showers on the way today from Monroe right along that 165 corridor. Looks like that's where those are going to set up, but they could happen anywhere. But I think that's where maybe we get the heaviest rain today. But again, it's less than a ½ inch. Through tonight, yes, I think storms fire, but I think they're going to mainly fire along and east of the Mississippi River. And then there comes the big one. Tomorrow, showers and storms popping. Any of these isolated storms are going to carry your highest severe risk. Now, this is the front right up here through Shreveport. So as that continues to sink to the southeast, I actually think that's going to outrun the heavier thunderstorms. So what we're going to see here is some post-frontal rain and storms. I think the severe threat exits by about 10 to midnight. So this is not going to be an overnight thing where you're going to have to stay up all night and babysit this one, I'll probably stay up until that front clears, and then, that'll be off to bed for me. So it might be thundering, but we won't be covering anything because it would just be a few rumbles. And you don't need to oversaturate, but I'll tell you what, I will be here for every stitch of anything interesting. For today, we have those storms going on up north. We will see the scattered showers. The GFS, again, just another way to show this. Second pocket of energy comes in, draws that front back to the north. I posted about a potential weak low pressure forming along this boundary as it's coming through, and if that happened up along the I-20 corridor, that could enhance our severe risk. I don't see that happening on the models this morning, so that's a little good news for you. And then this moves on to the east, gets out of here. We stay dry for several days, at least the way it's looking now, and then we get another cold front to plow on through. So some chilly air is going to arrive after this. If you like the cold stuff, we've got it for you. Yes, the heaviest rain will be off to the east. I still think a half an inch to 2 inches area wide, and I think someone's going to end up with 3 to 4 in the area. So isolated totals up to 3, maybe 4 inches, but it's not going to be an excessive event that's going to cause major flooding. I don't see a big problem with that. 60% chance for rain today. I did pop that up. 90% on Friday. I think everyone's going to see it, but I'm always scared to put 100% in. Maybe Tom will do it tonight. I'll let him take that risk. 68 degrees on Saturday, so it cools off some. Secondary front comes through and cools us a good bit Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It looks like we're near freezing Monday morning, but any sort of freeze would be a light one. 50s back towards 60 on Wednesday. Then we should get another push of cold air. And check this out if you missed it last night on my 24-hour channel update. We got blue on the map. We have that colder air that's going to be dipping down. I think we're going to see a lot of cold air. We're going to see that big cold pool building across Canada and the northern United States in a La Nina pattern. You're going to need something to shove that down. There are some indications that could happen, so I'm watching especially about 12 to 15 days out for that potential, but it's looking better there. We're not seeing the 7th level of magenta on the map. So if you like the cold air, that's good for you. And then we have above normal precip. So little cooler, little precip. Is it going to snow? Probably not. I know you saw the GFS runs yesterday. Someone posted them of 2 inches of ice across the I-10 corridor 15 days from now. Do you think that's going to happen? It's probably not gonna. I don't think it is. But we shall see. I will be watching things, and whenever there's a credible threat, I will let you know. You know that. Real quick, just to recap, slight risk for severe weather today. There's the day 2 outlook. That shows the big picture. And then as we go in, I'll just play through the risks again here. So that's your slight risk, could bump up to an enhanced risk. And I think that would be probably just to our northeast, if I had to guess. Could stretch back toward Alexandria, but I think up toward Jackson, there's going to be a little bit higher threat. So 5% risk on the tornado, 15% risk within 25 miles of a point for damaging wind, and a 5% hail risk. Good morning, everyone. How you doing? All right, I'm going to get out of here. Have a good one. Have a beautiful Thursday. I'll update the 24-hour channel stuff. I'm going to make sure I can break in across all platforms, including that. So if you follow along on the Roku app or anything like that, you're going to be able to see me, hopefully, live on there. And if nothing else, Facebook, YouTube, the typical stuff when we get these warnings going. And Tom will be live later today for another update. I'll do a text update. We'll do all kinds of stuff. You know you're going to stay ahead of the game with us, and we will keep you posted. Have a wonderful rest of your day.